BookTube. I'm here today to do a Monday Reads. Like I mentioned before, I went to the library and I got a ton of books, like just by searching by Christmas, snow, December, those kind of things to find some books. And I got a huge amount, and I know I won't be able to read all of them, but I'm not sure exactly what I'm going to be reading throughout the month, and so I thought I would do a weekly reads. And so but I still want to do Friday reads because I like talking about my weekend and things like that. So I'm going to do, this is Monday through Thursday, what I'm going to be reading. And the first one is A Wedding in December by Sarah Morgan. And I saw this at the library, and it really caught my eye. The cover, it's like kind of sparkly. I don't know if it's like picking up on camera, but it's like all this glitter. And so yeah, I brought it home, and then I was watching Sarah over at Steeped in Books, and she was talking about doing a buddy read for this book. And so I'm going to be buddy reading this with Sarah at Steeped in Books, Elena Reads, and Lindsay from Wandering Reader, I think is her channel name. And so yeah, this is a romance book, but it's more like a family drama. And it's featuring a mother who is struggling with getting divorced, and then it's focusing on her daughters. One of them is kind of having a tough time in her career working as a doctor in the ER, and then it's also following her younger sister, who's kind of impulsive and surprised everyone with, hey, I'm going to get married Christmas Eve to a guy I just met. And so, yeah, it's starting off with a bang, and I'm really enjoying discussing this with everyone. This is only my second buddy read, so yeah, I do want to do more of them in 2020. I think it's a nice way to kind of analyze books. So yeah, this is the first one, and this is going through December 5th. And then the other current read I have, so like, especially I have physical books and I have ebooks, is Kristen Higgins' In Your Dreams, a Blue Heron novel. Oh, I forgot to change. I always do this. I forgot to change the lighting. And this it's kind of reminding me of The Unhoneymooners by Christina Lauren that I read over the summer. In this one, it's following, it has like two different storylines. It's following a woman who, her ex-fiance is getting married, and she's kind of like lugged into going because her family is friends with his family. And she doesn't want to go, but she goes anyway, but she wants to bring a date. And she doesn't want to show up, just single. And so she drags someone along, and it kind of like turns, she doesn't plan to pretend that they're engaged, but it just happens, like when she's talking to the ex-fiance, she's like, he turned into a nice guy, so she wants to kind of like one up him, and she's like, oh yeah, I'm engaged too. And so it's kind of like, it's hilarity ensues with that. It was hilarious. I was like laughing out loud at that part. And then it's following the guy who she brings along. It's like a second storyline. The guy she brings along, he is struggling with an ex-wife who wasn't who he wasn't who he thought she was when he married her. She wanted him for his money, and so she cheated on him, and so she was like hiding all of her like presents to herself, like in the attic and everywhere, and so ringing up all of his credit cards. And so they're divorced, and so she's back in town, and she wants to get back together, and so he's struggling with that, and then also like he with him going with the other woman to the pretend date, he's kind of intrigued by her, and so I hear Winnie at the tree again. Oh my gosh, I think every time I'm talking, it's making her excited, and so she's like, tree time! I don't know. Oh boy. I don't know if you can hear that. She's like running around like crazy. I don't know. Yeah. I'm going to fix it up. But yeah, anyway, so yeah, this is a nice story, and I definitely want to pick up more by Kristen Higgins, because she's just so funny. I'm like laughing out loud at all these different moments. Like most recently, the ex-wife who really likes buying lots of things, she has all of these like little bed cushions, like little cushions that you put on the bed, like, and you take them all off before you can lay down. And the cat that she hates has like buried himself in the pillows, and it's this like fun game of like bursting when someone comes into the room. The cat bursts out of all these pillows, and pillows fly everywhere, and it was just, that scene was just so funny. So yeah, that's another one I'm currently reading, and then the last one that I'm currently reading is one I've been reading while I'm at work. This is Dinosaurs Rediscovered: The Scientific Revolution in Paleontology by Michael J. Benton. And this is carrying over from Nonfiction November, because I still have a couple from that I'm rolling over, because I do want to get to them. And this is Michael Benton is like one of the leading people in paleontology. He works at the University of Bristol, and he has been in the field a very long time, since the 1970s, I think is what he was saying. I just started this, I'm like a couple chapters in, and so he's seen like the revolution of like the technology that we've been using, and like the knowledge, how what he was taught and what he was using back in the 1970s is totally different in some ways from what we're using now. And so this is all about kind of like the transformation of our knowledge and information on dinosaurs, and like things like with feathers, like some of them, he talked about how, like, or were they covered in feathers, or are they just like patches and whatnot. So yeah, it's really interesting so far. And then the last two are ones that I haven't started yet. So I'll go on with the one from Nonfiction November, Dreams of El Dorado, A History of the American West by H.W. Brands. I'm super excited to be getting into this one, because I always find like that like Western expansion and all that is very interesting time in U.S. history, and recently living in the West and then coming back east, so it's a different environment. And I was living kind of near like the foothills of the Sierra Nevada mountains, and so a lot of the history around the area I was in had a lot of gold rush and mining. So yeah, I have like, and like the Donner Lake that was nearby as well. So yeah, I do have like a kind of a connection with the West, and so yeah, this is about. It starts around with Thomas Jefferson and his idea of like expanding America, and it's following Lewis and Clark, and like the gold rush and the Oregon Trail, and the oil booms and everything like that. And so yeah, I do want to get to this as soon as possible. And then with all of that, the last one I'm going to be reading is Let It Snow by Nancy Thayer, and this is one I just saw at the library and wanted to pick it up. And I think this is new as well. This came out in October. Hopefully you can see without the glare. I had to keep using face this direction with the lights, because it's been so dark. Like, of course, it's getting dark earlier, but even during daylight, it's been super cloudy. I know there's a lot of storms coming in up north, and so it's been super gloomy outside. So hopefully, I have to use these lights. Hopefully you can see that, kind of. So this is about, what was the main character's name? Christina Antonia, and it's set in Nantucket during Christmas time, and she owns a toy shop, and she has a Scrooge in her neighborhood who is her landlord at the shop, and he wants to raise the rent, and so she doesn't know, can she keep the shop open this Christmas. And there's my dog Tucker. He's like every time like my cat gets like super excited, he kind of riles him up too. So he's like, what's this cat doing? Like, what's about this tree? Because he isn't that interested in this tree. But every time she runs around it, he keeps coming up to it and like, what is the big deal? I don't get it. But yeah, anyway, so she has a Scrooge that's raising her rent, but she makes friends with, I think it's his granddaughter, and so she finds out like he isn't all of a bad guy. There is, so maybe like she can like be friends with him, and maybe he can become more human and kind of considerate with lowering her rent. I don't know, but and also the uncle, the granddaughter's uncle, I think is like the romantic lead in this, and so yeah, it's like a maybe with her friend being friends with the granddaughter, and the uncle will maybe persuade him to let her keep the toy shop. So yeah, there's this one, and so these are all the books I'm going to be reading. Hopefully by Friday, we'll see. I don't really have any plans. Most of the time during the week, I don't really do anything besides read and cook dinner and walk the dog. So yeah, this is me right here. But yeah, let me know if you read any of these books, and I'll talk to you soon. Thanks, BookTube.